I want you to find that comfortable seat, and I want you to close your eyes. I want you to breathe in and out through your nose. Remember that today's class is going to be very gentle and very slow. We will be sitting in each pose for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. And all I want you to focus on during this time are the sounds that are around you and how your body feels. Where you feel tension, maybe where you carry your stress. Take a moment and shrug your shoulders up to your ears and hold them there until I tell you to take them down. Slowly let those shoulders come down away from your ears. Let your brow soften. Let your eyes be closed or soft with the gaze. Slowly and gently turn your palms to be face up, sitting on your lap. Continue to breathe in and out through your nose. Notice the pace of your breath. Try to find stillness in your seat. Sometimes we tend to fidget when we are sitting still. But know that if you do fidget, it's okay. Just try to go back and find some stillness. Notice the sounds that might be outside your room. And try not to let them distract you from your practice. Just let them be. Softly open your eyes and blink them a couple of times, letting yourself get acclimated to the light coming back in. Let your jaw remain soft. Slowly turn your palms face down onto your knees. And you're going to gently just lean back a little bit, long enough to bring both feet out in front of you and let them touch. Now here is where you may need another blanket or a block, and you can place them up underneath your knees if you need them. This pose is not about getting your knees to go flat to the floor. And it's not about your feet coming in towards your body. You want your feet to be out away from your body. And all you're going to do is you're going to take a breath in. And on your exhale, slide your hands down the front of your shins. And you're going to come to what I like to call your first edge. Now, if for whatever reason the floor hurts the outside of your ankles, if you're on the floor, you can bring your mat up to you and fold it to create a little bit more padding for your ankles. Again, make sure your feet are scooted out away from you. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, you just slide your hands down the front of your shins, going to where you first feel a stretch. Now that will be different for everyone. For me, right here is where I first feel a stretch. It is actually along the sides of my thighs, a little bit on the inner thighs, and just a little bit in my mid to low back. This is where I'm going to stay for right now. I'm just going to that first edge of where I feel something. And just bow my head. And you can check in with your neck and turn it side to side. And then find stillness. After about 10 breaths, see if you can't go a little further. It does not have to be very far, and you're just walking your hands, walking your hands down your feet just a little bit. Now, if you've gone too far, you can back up, but just take it where you feel a little stretch, a little more, and bow your head. I like to see if I can move a little bit further after about 10 breaths. So you could do the same if you like. Time to see if you can go a little bit further. Slowly and gently, using your hands, walk yourself back to an upright position, taking your time. From here, you're just going to, I have to scoot forward because I'm too close to my wall, bend your knees, and gently drop your knees side to side. Now, if you wanted to, you could be right close to your wall just like I am. And that would be quite all right. And since I didn't space myself out quite right, this is just what it is. And you only go as far as is comfortable to you. And you'll find, as I'm finding, that I'm slipping down onto my mat with each windshield wiper of my knees. So I might end up on the floor if I'm not careful. But it just is what it is. And it's quite all right. All right. Coming back upright as I have come up off of my blanket, I'm going to unroll my mat. And hopefully that won't be too much of a noise. I'm going to go ahead and stay off of my blanket for this next one. And I'm going to bring it around in front. Maybe fold it up once. And I'm going to put this front leg that I'm bending on top of this blanket. We're going to sit up nice and tall. And as a matter of fact, I need to scoot it away a little bit. I got it a little bit too close. But you kind of play with it and see where it feels good to you. We're going to take a breath in. We're going to sigh it out. Take another breath in. And as you sigh it out, walk yourself forward. Kind of like we did a minute ago. Again, you only go as far as is comfortable to you. And you only go to where you first feel a stretch. And your stretch will be different from anybody else's. Like for me, I'm feeling it on the inside of this outstretched leg. And as I go forward, I'm feeling it around my backside on the leg that is bent. Bow your head, and we'll take 10 full breaths, and then we'll reevaluate how we feel. If we feel we can go further, we'll walk our fingers a little further. Take 10 more, and then the final last 10 breaths. So bow your head and start with your 10 full breaths at your first edge. Without looking up, see if you can walk your hands a little bit more forward. Take 10 full breaths here. Again, without looking up, see if you can creep your hands a little further. If not, stay where you're at and take 10 full breaths. Slowly and gently, using your hands, walk them back towards the center of your body, bringing yourself to an upright position. Let your palms go to the sky, resting on your knees. Slowly and gently extend the leg out that was bent and bring the leg in on the opposite side so we can get this on this side. We will take a breath in, and on the exhale, slowly come forward with your hands, only going as far as is comfortable to you and where you first feel a stretch. Each side will be different, so stay here for 10 full breaths, and then we'll evaluate and see if we can't go further after that. Bow your head. Without looking up, walk your hands a little bit further away. Take 10 full breaths here, but only if it is available to you. Do not force or pull yourself down. Without looking up, this will be the last time you stretch out a little further away, but only if it's calling to you. And take 10 full breaths. Slowly and gently, using your hands, walk them back towards the center of your body. Slowly come upright, letting your head and neck be the last to come up. Let your palms rest face up in your lap. We will slowly lean back, bringing these knees back in front of us. Taking our hands back behind us somewhere comfortable, and gently windshield wipering our legs side to side. All right, come back up to a seated position, and we're going to take out both legs. This time you may want a pillow in front of you, double stacked, or a bolster if you have one. If your knees bother you, let me show you what you can do for that. You can take this blanket and just put it right up underneath your knees. You can do that with both of your blankets if you need it. Matter of fact, I think I am going to do it with mine. This way, this makes it a little bit more comfortable on your knees. All right. Again, your legs are only out as wide as it's comfortable for you. We'll take a breath in. And on the sigh out, just come down to your forearms to begin. Let your head bow. Without looking up, if you can, slowly roll the bolster or your pillow a little bit further away from you. And now your forearms and wrists are resting on top of the pillow. Your head is bowed forward, and we will stay here for about 10 breaths. You could also do this with couch cushions or stacked pillows or stacked blankets. Without looking up, roll it away from you a little bit further to where it's just your hands and your wrist resting on it. Your elbows are soft and bent. Your head is bowed forward and your back is rounded forward. Slowly take your hands, and you can walk that bolster or that pillow back towards you, or you can just walk your hands back towards your body. I'm going to slide this over to the side. I do believe I am done with it for now. And we're going to come onto our stomachs. And since I didn't really set myself up quite right today, I'm going to be using my blanket as part of my mat so that I can demonstrate how we need to be. So, you can do the same if you like, but we're just going to roll over onto our stomachs. Our elbows are directly under our shoulders. The tops of your feet are into the mat or the floor. You don't want to sink into your shoulders like this. You want to have a gaze at approximately the baseboard. I'm only turning my head so that I hope that you can hear me. Now, if having your elbows directly under your shoulders causes your lower back to pinch a little bit more, you can walk them out away from you a little bit. Again, don't dip down into your shoulders. Don't let your head and your neck try to just droop. At the same time, you're keeping your shoulders away from your ears instead of letting them hunch up. If for whatever reason you don't feel you're getting enough of a bend in your back, bring your elbows back to underneath your shoulders. And then you can press into your hands, lifting your elbows up off the mat. And your elbows aren't lifted up very much. I mean, if I went straight, I'd be way high. But by keeping them soft, you're just barely lifting your forearms and your elbows up off the mat. You can check in with your neck. You can also just lower your elbows and forearms back down to the mat if you grow tired, or if you find that that was too much of a back bend. From here, we're going to bring our hands forward to where we can double stack our fists. And rest our forehead on top of the top fist. Slowly and gently come back to where your elbows are directly below your shoulders. I want you to curl your toes. Instead of having your feet flat, I want your toes to be curled up onto that mat, and for you just to raise your legs up off that mat. And then lower them back down. Now, you may not be able to raise them very high, but just the action of doing so gives a little stretch, builds a little strength into those places. You're going to turn your feet back to where they're flat onto the floor. You're going to bring your hands directly underneath your shoulders as you push yourself up to tabletop. Take your knees wide and come down into child. Slowly and gently come back to a seated position. We are going to work ourselves where we can get down onto our backs. I'm going to roll one blanket up to create a neck pillow. And we're going to do a couple of supine twists and some other things for our backs. Just making mine extra comfortable. We will come onto our backs. Our knees will be bent. Our arms are out away from our bodies. The soles of our feet are on the mat. And our legs are a little bit wide. From here, we will windshield wiper our legs. From here, we will bring the left foot to what we think is the center of the mat. That knee is still bent. We'll take the right leg and cross it over at the knees. From here, we're going to let both legs fall over to the right. And you're going to let your gaze go over. I said that wrong. You crossed your right leg over your left knee and you drop them both to your left. I apologize for that. Leave it to me to get my left and right confused for the day. Keeping it real. And if you need to make adjustments to where that left foot is closer to your body to make this work for you, that is quite all right. Slowly and gently bring your head and your knees back to center. Slowly uncross that right foot. Place it in what you feel is the center of the mat. And then cross the left leg over the right with the knees crossing over each other. Now with that left leg crossed over, you're going to take both knees to the right. Your gaze can be to the left, or you can keep your head at center. Whatever feels good on your neck. Slowly and gently bring your legs and your neck back up to center. Slowly uncross that leg and extend both legs down the length of your mat. Take both hands above your head and take a full body stretch here. Point and flex your feet, your hands, and your wrists. And then let your arms come back where they're comfortable. Some people can keep their arms above their head. Others cannot. It's okay. All you're going to do is walk both feet to the left side of your mat. From here, you're going to reach with your left arm And you may have to adjust your neck pillow. Reach your left arm down towards your left leg. Now for those that can keep their hands above their heads, you can actually take your right wrist into your left hand and take it over towards the left. Otherwise, you may do this modification where the left hand just reaches down towards the left foot. Slowly and gently bring your upper body back to what you think is center, and slowly walk your feet back to what you think is center, and take that full body organic stretch. Just really, really get into it. And then let your arms come back down. Let your feet fall open for just a moment. Slowly walk your feet to the right side of your mat, and gently, again, if you need to adjust your pillow, please do so. And you can reach the right hand down towards the right foot. So everything is going towards the right. The feet are going towards the right. The right hand is reaching down towards those feet, getting you a nice side stretch along the entire left side of your body. At any time, if you'd like to move your head to a different position, you may feel free to do so. Take whatever you need to make this feel good to yourself. If you need to back off from the stretch a little bit, that's quite all right. Slowly and gently walk your feet back to center, and then bring your upper body back to what you think is center. Go ahead and bend both knees, placing the soles of your feet onto the mat. Let your arms come down by your side, and you're going to press into your feet and raise your hips up off the mat. And then slowly lower it back down and bring both knees up in towards your chest and gently rock side to side. From here, I want you to find your most comfortable position. You may use your bolster or your pillows, and you can always, if this one doesn't kill me, slide it up underneath your legs like this. I hope that you can see that from where I'm at. Let your legs rest over the bolster. You can adjust exactly where that's at. But I want you to find a comfortable resting position. Now, if laying on your back is not feeling good right now, you can always roll over onto your side. But whatever you choose, I want you to be laying down in a resting position. We're going to take this time to really rejuvenate and enjoy this final relaxation. If you need to take another bridge, feel free to do so. Take whatever stretches you feel that you need. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to be aware of your breath. I want you to take notice of the thoughts going through your head, no matter what they are. You may have a million things, you may have just one. One, it might be the grocery list, might be something that's been bothering you, might be words that you've spoken that you now wish that you had not. Maybe there's a misunderstanding in your life. Maybe there's anger. Maybe there's resentment. Maybe there's uncertainty and fearfulness. Maybe everything's just the way it's supposed to be. Maybe you don't have any of this negativity that might be floating out around in the world. But I want you to take a moment, and whatever it is that's in your life that is in the forefront of your mind, maybe weighing on your heart, I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to hold it at the top for as long as you can. And then I want you to let it out, and I want you to sigh it out as if you're trying to get me to be able to hear your sigh. So it's going to be loud and it's going to be audible. So you'll take a deep breath in, Hold it for 2, 3, 4, 5, however long you can. And then I want you to go, and really just let it go. Let all the fears, the doubts, the resentment, the anger, the uncertainty, and just let it go. We'll do that one more time. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Really blow that air out. We'll do that one more time. This time we're going to hold it for as long as we can. Deep breath in. Filling your lungs, filling your heart space, holding it for as long as your breath will possibly let you. And then, this time it can be softer. This time it can be longer. Or maybe you don't have that much energy left after hawing out earlier, and it's okay. Go back to breathing normally. You can take a sighing breath if you like. For those of you resting on your back, maybe with your knees resting over a bolster, I want you to bring your feet to on top of that bolster and just slide it out of the way. Keeping your knees bent, I want you to scoot your hips over to one side and roll over onto the opposite side. I'd like everyone to be on their side, whichever side you choose. I want you to curl up as if you're in bed, and you might be in bed, and that's okay. I want you to take a full moment of breath, of just being where you are now. Slowly and gently bring yourself up to a seated, comfortable position. Taking your time, letting your head and neck be last. You're going to take your arms out wide, take your shoulder blades back as far as you can, and crisscross in front and gently rock side to side, elbows lifted, making note of which arm is on top. Open wide once again, and then crisscross, let the other arm be on top. We'll take a moment, drop one hand to the floor and take the other arm over, letting this hand and elbow bend, and then push off, and do this on the opposite side. And push off, and again. One more time. Come back to center. We will inhale up and exhale to the heart. I hope that you enjoyed this and that you have a wonderfully blessed day. Until next time, peace out.